So Byron Donalds, Republican out of Florida, with us now. And sir, good morning to you. Waiting for some time on this. We mentioned a little bit of this quote. I'll read it again through our for our audience here. It costs $5 million to pay one, $5 million to pay another. They hired Hunter Biden to protect us through his dad from all kinds or problems. I think that should read of problems. Slochevsky replied something to the effect of, "Don't worry, Hunter will take care of all those issues through his dad." Look, the FBI's got a real problem with this going public. Do you?
No, I don't, because the FBI should have been looking into this long ago. And what we have now seen, if you go through the Durham report, what Mr. Ziegler and Mr. Shapley testified to in the Oversight Committee yesterday and in front of Ways and Means a few weeks ago, the fact that the Oversight Committee investigation into the money flow from China, from Ukraine, from Romania, and there are other countries that are coming forward, our House investigation eerily matches what the IRS International Tax Fraud Department was investigating. And all of this is matching up. And the last thing that is also matching up is that you have political holdovers and political appointees at the Department of Justice who were obstructing justice so that this matter was never brought to the light of day. Last thing, you also have our current Secretary of State who led this letter of 51 people in our intelligence community who said that the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation, and we now know that is a lie. So I think that the FBI has nothing to stand on as far as I'm concerned. This form should have been released to the public long ago.
I want to just read the FBI statement so that we have that on record here. They said that we have repeatedly explained to Congress in correspondence and in briefings how critical it is to keep this source information confidential. Today's release of the 1023 at a minimum unnecessarily risks the safety of a confidential source. I wonder if you have any indication of how long this was, did they think that this could go on? Because the investigation's been going on for so many years. At what point does this confidential source still risk safety?
Well, look, we believe that the confidential human source, who the FBI themselves has said is highly credible, who the FBI themselves has said that they've been using for multiple years, that source might be doing other things, not just with the Bidens. So I'll leave it at that. I think that's why FBI has that view. Okay,
just back in June, about a month and a half ago, roll this. The president was asked about it.
Bribery allegation. Congresswoman Nancy Mace says there's damning evidence in the FBI file that you sold out the country. Do you have a response to the congressional Republicans?
Where's the money? I'm joking.
Mr. President,
it's a bunch of malarkey.
I know how you feel about that. I've heard you talk about it before. You're pushing for an impeachment of the DOJ. Would that just be a formality, knowing that it would not move anywhere in the Senate?
No, I don't think it's a formality, because what this does is it opens up the actual truth of what's happened in this situation. We know, and I'm going to go back to the Durham report. This is why this was so important from John Durham and his team. We know that there are elements of DOJ that have protected Hunter Biden, Jim Biden, and the president of the United States, Joe Biden. They were protecting him when he left the vice presidency. They were protecting him his last year as vice president. They were protecting Hillary Clinton, by the way, when she was in the middle of her shenanigans. And this is the very essence of a two-tier justice system that we have going on in America right now. And so I will tell you that if House Republicans, with all the evidence and all the facts, don't move on this, what you're essentially saying to these bad actors in our government, and frankly to the American people, that if you're in the right political party and you got the right last name, you can do whatever you want and nobody's going to hold you accountable.
Congressman, what does that look like? I mean, I think people can remember the impeachment of President Trump that they did in his presidency, but for an impeachment of DOJ officials, what practically does that look like?
Well, the actual practical pathway for DOJ, I'm going to leave that to Chairman Jordan and the Judiciary Committee, because largely it would move through there. But essentially what I'm looking for, and I think we're going to really go to get, is the Deputy Attorney General, Lisa Monaco. What did she know? When did she know it? Was she signaling to people not to move forward with investigations? Who tipped off the Secret Service detail around Hunter Biden when the IRS wanted to question him? That's grounds for another. Did Merrick Garland stop David Weiss from being able to bring charges in the D.C. circuit and in the California circuit with those AUSAs, because that looks very clear to be what's going on. And if they obstructed justice, if they stopped the investigation or stopped charges coming forward, that's high crimes and misdemeanors. It gets no simpler than that. Now, I'm going to move on to Joe Biden, because that's the one a lot of people are talking about. What did the White House counsel's office know about the treatment of Hunter Biden? When did they know it? And at that point, if the White House counsel knows, you know the president of the United States knows.
Well, all good questions. Might be very difficult to get the answers, but we'll see whether or not in time that happens. Sir, thank you for your time. Byron Donalds, the Republican from Florida. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.